Hello, friends. Mary here. How's your day going? I hope it's going just fine and you're enjoying it and you have something that you're going to do today that's fun. It's morning here and it's almost around 11:30 on Tuesday morning. And so I got up this morning and of course I did my routine. And I let my little dog out, and then I sit down to make my coffee. Well, all of a sudden, I heard all of this rain. Now, he's outside in the back. I have a fenced-in backyard. So I run to the back to my sunroom, and there he is, just like not knowing what to do. And so I opened the door, and I let him in, and he shot in like a bullet. Well, he's a part of the animal kingdom, but he's become so humanized. He doesn't like rain. Doesn't like cold. Doesn't like it too hot. So anyway, I let him in and I came in and I fixed my coffee. So I'm just sitting here thinking, yesterday I was on the phone and I was sitting back there in my sunroom and Charlie, my little furry dog, was outside in the yard and I noticed he was just digging. Now I had been wondering, where's all that dirt coming from? I have a fenced in backyard and he was up against the fence that divides me and the neighbor. Digging. Almost dug a hole deep enough to go up under the fence and get into the neighbor's yard. So I got up and I spoke to like I said, I was on the phone and I said, wait a minute, let me go out here and see what Charlie doing. Hold on for a minute. So I went out there and there he was, dirty as he could be. Paws just as dirty. And so he looked at me and I said, if you don't get away from that hole. Now, he knew what I meant, and he knew he was in trouble, and he knew he was in error. Digging that big old hole. Where is he going? So I came back and I spoke to my friend, and I said, Charlie is out there trying to dig a hole up under that fence. He'll eventually get over in the neighbor's yard, and then what will he do, and what will I do? And so anyway, my friend and I, we talked a little bit, and then, she went on about her day, and I went on about my day. So, I got up this morning and I was thinking, I've never seen Charlie out there digging like that before. Why has he decided now that he's going to dig a hole in the yard and try to get into the neighbor's yard? Well, I don't know if he's trying to get into the neighbor's yard, but he's certainly digging a hole at that fence where he could eventually scoot up under the fence and get into the neighbor's yard. So I looked up some things on the internet. The internet is a powerful tool. The glossary, Webster's dictionary, and all of that, they're powerful tools. And all you have to do is speak to it or type in your request and it brings it right up. Well, I typed in, what causes a dog to dig is what I really put in. And I'm like, because I really wanted to know. And I put in, and you know what? I've lived a long time and I have so much knowledge in my mind that, well, so many file folders, I put it like that, that are full. That when I read things, sometimes I have to jot them down. And if you see me looking down, it's because I jotted some notes down because I couldn't contain all of that in my file folder because it's pretty much full. So I'm going to read this to you. Why do dogs dig holes? Digging is their nature. Digging is a dog's nature because they are descendants of wolves. Okay? This is another reason why they may dig. Boredom or excess energy. Digging provides a physical and mental outlet. Well, I got thinking about that one. I have been on my YouTube created my YouTube station since June, my YouTube channel. And I have maybe 125 videos out there. And that has taken a lot of time. Time away from Charlie when I just sit and hold him. He gets his belly rubs, he gets his walks. We have our conversations. You know, it's taking time away from him. And I don't think he likes it. I don't think he likes it. I think he feels neglected. So like a child, what he will do is he'll become destructive. Or he will become jealous. I actually believe dogs have a tendency to become jealous. I really do. Now, that could just be me, but from my experience with dogs and cats, dogs more so than cats though, I think they have a personality where they can become jealous when they see their mother or their papa or their owner or whatever you want to call it getting involved with something else. That's my phone. Hold on, guys. I'm going to pause this. Now, isn't that something? My phone has not rung all morning. And like I said, it's around 11:30 a.m., something to 12. Soon as I get to making a video, and I notice this happens often, the phone will ring. Sometimes it hasn't rung all day. And then I start making videos. I get on this YouTube channel and I'm talking to you all, my friends, and the phone rings. But anyway, getting back to the conversation. Let's see what was the conversation. Oh, it was about my little dog, Charlie, and his digging habits. And I was saying, I do believe dogs get jealous when you spend your time doing something else. They become bored, they become jealous, and they get a little destructive, just like children may be. Just like babies and toddlers may get a little destructive if you're not paying attention to them. So I think that's another reason why he's over there digging that big hole in my yard, something he's never done. I have been busy growing my YouTube channel, and I think he feels neglected. Now there's another reason that it said when I looked it up: hiding valuables, toys, and so forth. Reminiscent of their ancestors. It says that this is reminiscent of their instinct of their ancestors that's been passed on to them, because during that time they hid food. They hid food and for later, to eat later. So they say that this is a part of their DNA, a part of them being a dog, an animal, whatever, that they hide things and go back and get them later. Well, Charlie does that. Now, he has these balls, and he has 3 balls, they're orange balls, because he would not play with anything but those balls. Charlie is so funny. I have spent so much money trying to buy him toys, and he has absolutely nothing to do with them. So now I just give him those orange balls, and he loves them. But there are times he will hide those balls around the house. And I'm like, where are those orange balls? You have hidden those balls. And then I start looking for them, and I can't find them. And I'll say to Charlie, Charlie, where are those orange balls? Where have you hidden those orange balls? And he'll look at me like, wouldn't you like to know? I said, Charlie, go get that orange ball. Go get that orange ball this instant. He'll look at me like, okay, because eventually I want to play with it later, so I better get it while I can remember where it is. So he'll go and bring 1 or 2 of them back where I can see them. So dogs by instinct not only dig out of boredom and so many other things, but they hide things. They hide valuables. They hide toys. Another thing it says, escaping and investigating. Dogs are very inquisitive. And they investigate all kinds of things. When I take Charlie on his walk, I mean, I can't tell you the thousands of times he will stop to investigate something on the road: a tree, a plant, a blade of grass, a cup that someone has discarded on the side of the road. They're very inquisitive, and he stopped so many times along the way with his walk, and I just stand there and, just wait. And then he'll look up at me and he say, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's continue." Now, when a dog is kept in a fence, which Charlie is not, even though I have a fenced-in backyard, Charlie has free run of that backyard. He's not on a chain, none of that. Charlie is an inside dog. I let him out to relieve himself, to get sunshine, to get his exercise. But they say that dogs that are confined to fences get very agitated being confined to that space. And that's why a lot of them would dig, and find a way out, okay? Let's see what else I have. Excuse me for looking down, but I can't remember all of this. So, this is what I'm saying. Yesterday, Charlie was digging a big hole in my backyard. Had I not caught it, he may have gotten over it in the neighbor's yard. His paws were just as smutty and dirty. I had to bring him in, wipe him off, clean him up. And then he has the nerve to look at me as if to say, "You interrupted what I was doing. Why don't you go back to your YouTube station? You've been ignoring me all of these weeks because you've been messing with that camera. Now, I found me something to do, Mama, and now you want to take that away." That's the way he looked at me, as if that's what he wanted to say. So what is my remedy for him digging in the yard, trying to get into the neighbor's yard, trying to scoot up under the fence? If that is his motive. I don't know if that really is his motive to get into the neighbor's yard. Well, I have this stand that I used to, when I had a wooden fireplace, I used to store real firewood. My brother made it for me years ago. It's a rack. It's a rack to store firewood on. Well, that thing was so heavy. I didn't know it was that heavy, but I pulled it over that hole so he can no longer get up under there. He cannot get up under there. He cannot get on top of that. It's over for that hole. So he looks at me as I'm doing this as if to say, "You got some nerve. You get on back in that house and do what you've been doing. Let me tend to my own business." So I covered the hole up so that he can't continue to dig. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch and see if he finds another spot to start digging. Because in all honesty, I have been busy with my YouTube channel. His belly rubs, his cuddling time, his walks, his talks have been somewhat limited as I've been working on this. And I think he's acting out. He's rebelling against me. He's saying, "You do what you do. I see that's what you like to do every day. And I'm going to do what I want to do. You just leave me alone, Mama." I'm an animal lover, and I've had several animals in my life. I've had frogs, birds, fish. It's a fun thing about fish. When I had a fish tank and I would go feed those fish, they were so smart. I didn't even have the food in my hand yet. All I had to do was appear at the tank, and they would all surface and look at me because they knew that I fed them every day. So as I approached that tank and stood there, before I even reached for the food, they would all come to the top and look at me as if to say, come on with the food." So I've had a cat. I've had several dogs. When I was a child, it's probably awful what we did when I think about it now, but we used to catch butterflies and put them in jars. That was awful. But that's what kids did. We used to catch butterflies and put them in jars and just look at them. Of course, we'd have holes at the top of the jar, but butterflies are not created to be contained like that. They're not going to live very long if you contain them like that. But that's what we used to do as little kids. So, put down there in the comments, does your dog dig? And why do you think he's digging? And what have you done to stop him from digging? Has your dog ever dug a hole big enough to escape, to get into the neighbor's yard, or to get out in the community? Was he lost? Were you able to find him? Put down in the comments. And put down there in the comments some of the things you think that might would help Charlie not finding another hole, another place to start digging. Because he and I gonna fall out over this now. I have put a lot of work in that backyard. I have planted grass seed, laid sod, and now he wants to dig. He has to stop digging, regardless of his motivation. You know, dogs are very intelligent, and they're funny because when I caught him out there doing it, he looked at me when I said, Charlie. He instantly came away from that hole like a child would and came up and looked at me like, I said, you know you've been a bad boy. You know you have no business over there digging that big hole in my yard. And once you get over there in the neighbor's yard, then what you gonna do? You probably won't be able to get back over here. Of course, I don't think my neighbor will harm him. I really don't. I think my neighbor would let me know, you know, Charlie is over in my yard today. But I just wanted to share that with you. Like I say, it's raining here. It's overcast. Man, did we get a big downpour this morning. I mean, like I say, Charlie was in the yard, and I heard it. It's like the sky opened up and the rain just fell down. And like I say, he doesn't like that. He was going ballistic out there in that yard. I guess he really didn't think about continuing to dig another hole either. All he wanted to do was come in the house. So he's fine, you know, nothing happened to him. But, and I love that little dog. And he and I have been together for 5 years, going on 6 years. He knows me. You know, animals, when they live with you, they begin to learn you, your moves, your habits. You know why? Because they don't have a whole lot going on like we do. This is what I think. They don't have a whole lot going on in their lives. You know, they eat, they drink water, they poop, and they dig holes. So they have time to just sit and watch. They have time to sit and watch their humans, what their humans do, what their humans say. Sometimes I think they even understand some small conversation. In fact, I know they do, because when I caught him yesterday, he knew he was in trouble. But they have time. They follow you all through the house. They're looking, they're watching. They have time to watch and see what's going on. When we humans are so busy and so preoccupied with life and issues and just whatever, we don't have time to sit and watch and look like that. But they do. And so they begin to learn you, your personality. And they begin to learn the routine. And let me tell you one thing. It's raining here, and I normally let Charlie out on the front because I have a little small seating area that's fenced in with a chain link fence, and he likes to go out there and sit up under the swing. Well, it's muddy out there now, and I just washed him up this morning. I don't want to have to wash him up again. So he runs to the door, and he knows it's time for him to go out on that front now. And I'm like, Charlie, you're not going out. It's muddy out there, and I just washed you up. And then guess what the little fella did? Now, this could have been my imagination. It could have been. It looked like he was like he showed me his teeth. like he was saying, I don't care if it is muddy out there, and I don't care if you did wash me up. Let me out here. You let me out here every day. Now, you got your nerve. You drink your coffee every day. So I said, Charlie, I'm not going to let you out this morning. It's too muddy out there. He was like, showing me his little front teeth. I'm like, okay, we don't want to go there now. Oh, friends, it's all good. You know, like I say, I'm an animal lover. I had a cat one time. His name was Bud. What I have found out about the difference between a cat and dogs is that cats are more self-sufficient. they're not as dependent on humans as dogs are. Dogs are very dependent on humans. They get a lot from humans. They get a lot of comfort. Now, don't get me wrong. Cats like comfort too, and they like attention. But I think they're a little bit more independent, because I could stroke Bud, sit Bud, my cat, on my lap and everything. And then after about maybe 3 minutes, he was ready to go. It's enough stroking, it's enough. I'm ready to go. You know, I think they're a little bit more independent. Dogs are more dependent, I believe, you know, on their human counterparts. So, wherever you are, whatever part of the world you find yourself in, or you live in, whatever you have planned today, because you know we're like, let's see, today is Tuesday, so we're like 2 days from Thanksgiving. And so a lot of you all are probably busy, maybe at the grocery store, maybe just preparing your home and your food, what you're gonna serve for your guests. So you all enjoy it, have a great time, and I'm gonna enjoy the rain because it has to rain. We need the rain just like we do the sunshine. I think today is gonna be a day that is going to rain all day. I don't think we're gonna see any sun today, but you know what? It's not cold. It's still a nice day. It's just a rainy day, a cozy day, a day to just sit back and reflect, drink your coffee, and talk to your YouTube friends. You all enjoy your day. I love you guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later.